Okay, so I debated on whether or not I should play the first half of this video or skip a lot of it due to the fact that I have nothing to say for it until about after the 6-minute point. But I also have seen that apparently you can leave that kind of stuff in, so I'm torn between doing that or speeding it up. I guess you guys will find out. So, on that note...
The Nathan Dunlap story took place in 1993. But let's move on to the most important comparison, the victims. In the game, there were 5 child victims. In the real-life story, there were also 5 victims. But we can get even more specific. Online theories about the game always tend to draw a parallel between the number of kids missing to the number of animatronics, saying that the children's bodies were stuffed in the various suits. And this appears to be true. Bonnie and Chica both have moans and raspy breath sound effects, as though someone's trying to cling to the last threads of their lives stuffed inside the costumes. And other sounds made by the animatronics are just slowed down versions of children's laughs and screams. Additionally, as the news clipping mentions, the suits ooze blood and mucus and begin to stink, like decaying bodies or reanimated corpses. So 5 victims, 5 suits, seems like a slam dunk, but nowhere does it say that all 5 were murdered, only that they went missing and couldn't be found.
The children had vanished and were never seen again. They're dead. The suit suddenly oozed with filth, pus, and blood, along with other fluids you would probably find in a body, and according to the people that were there, smelling like a corpse, they were somehow never checked. Now, when I had saw this in the game itself, 2 thoughts went through my mind. 1, Freddy Fazbear Entertainment had a hell of a lot of pull going on during its time. 2, the police were incompetent. While forensics probably weren't that great, I would like to point out the fact that these giant animatronic suits were big enough for a child to fit inside of them. In fact, later on in the series, we find out that the suits could be worn as a costume, or at least the yellow ones could be worn as a costume. So, why did no one bother checking them? On top of that, even if that wasn't, exactly known, since it was like several years back, people probably forgot about that particular fact. The fact that those bots oozed those specific types of fluid should have been enough for them to come back and look inside of the animatronic suits. But that's just me.
Also, the trouble a lot of people have with this theory is Golden Freddy. Why is that guy so limp and lifeless? So unlike the others. It's weird, until you go back to the real-life story. Yes, there were 5 people shot that night in Chuck E. Cheese, which matches the 5 victims in Freddy's story, but of those, 1 survived. Bobby, the one from the kitchen, miraculously survived the shot to his jaw. After he was knocked to the floor by the bullet, he went limp, played dead, to avoid the killer coming back to finish the job.
Hold it. How does the guy playing possum equate to the suit being without a endoskeleton? It was removed. We see it in the parts room. Hell, at this point in time, it was assumed that the Golden Freddy suit was what was used to lure the children away and kill them. In fact, you show that specific article. While the series later confirms that the suits could in fact be worn, we were given a hint to it by the simple fact that the suit was A, empty, and B, its endoskeleton was out.
What can this mean for the story of the game? I think the game is an allegory for that night back in 1993. Here's my final interpretation. You, Mike Schmidt, are the murderer, former employee of Freddy's Pizzeria. Like Nathan in the real story, you were fired for the reasons stated in the Day 7 pink slip, tampering with the animatronics, being unprofessional, odor. Maybe it was your tampering with the robots that caused the infamous bite of 87. Regardless, like Nathan, you were mad and wanted to get even. So you lured children to the back using a costume, killed them, stuffed their bodies into the animatronic suits, hoping to get the place shut down, then left. Notice that the news newspaper clippings never say it's an employee of the company luring the children away, but we know it must have been someone with access and knowledge of the employees-only section of the building. And as the newspaper clippings clearly show, just like Nathan, you were caught almost immediately, captured on the security footage. You were arrested, tried, and convicted, forced now to live on death row. The Freddy's Pizzeria you work in now are just the nightmares that haunt you, taunting you every night with the phrase, "It's me, it's me, it is you, you are the killer."
Wait, what? Let me see if I got this right. You, Mike Smith, are the killer. The new guy managed to somehow dodge the animatronics, put on the golden Fredbear suit, lure the children to the building, not get spotted once, come back, still somehow manage to not get killed, and bring them to a back room where somehow they caught the guy on camera going into the room with the children, but no kids coming out. We learn later that this was an extra spare room, but at this point in time, we do not know that the room exists. And yet you expect me to believe that Michael McSuit Stuffer here is a previous employee that is the killer and is suffering from death row nightmares. Fuck you. First of all, you're a new guy. Phone guy points this out, the game points this out, your action in the game points this out. Because unless you are a veteran employee and the job is as dangerous as this, you would not be having this many problems playing it. Second, if I, the character, is suffering death row nightmares, why the fuck am I dreaming of the animatronics? Why not about the lethal injection, the electric chair, the families that now hate me, the children that I killed, the cops that caught me, the populace at large? These bots are neutral at best. I know where they stand when it comes to me and every other night guard that is here. They have little to no bearing on this situation at all. In fact, Phone Guy states that the only reason why us night guards are in danger of these animatronics is simply because of the fact that they mistake us as endoskeletons at night, during the night shift. And if they caught us, we would be dead. The bleach policy that he states at the very beginning of the game also makes it clear that people have died because of these animatronics. So they do dick off for my situation and fuck off for my overall nightmare. And third, I honestly don't have anything else to say on this due to the simple fact that the game itself proves you wrong before you buy it. The game states right here that you are a new night guard. You were hired simply because it was a lot cheaper than buying a maintenance guy. You're new. You're not some killer, not some asshole. You are the new night guard at Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment Pizza. Fuck off. Final thoughts. Look, I really don't have anything against this guy or his theories, but after a few times of going, why are you ignoring X when it explains why, I found myself annoyed at best and peeved at worst due to the fact that he simply ignores in-game logic for real-world logic, especially when in-game logic would disprove and debunk real-world logic. Now, if I wanted to tear into this guy, I would have picked literally any other video that he has. There are plenty that will allow me to do so. But I didn't. This is FNAF 1. No one really cares about this, so I have nothing to worry about. I honestly don't expect anyone to even see this video, simply because of that fact. And I don't mind. This is merely practice because commentaries are closer to where I want my channel to go. So for now, thanks for watching. See you next time.